guys, this is Dandilion. Welcome. This is part 12 of the super short Pope series, and it looks like I forgot to make part 6 and I made part 10 twice. Well, anyway, I'm pretty sure there actually isn't a part 6, so we're just going to keep that skipped. But this section is going to be about September 24th, and I hope you like it. Here we go. Or who's going to be on September 24th? I think we covered the 23rd day. If this is your first video, I'm doing a series on these. I'm trying to skim the top. I just want to give you an overview of all the symbolism, the big picture, the ancient religion aspects, as much as I can tell you, and to let you know what I think is really going on. So on the 24th, he's going to be at the U.S. Capitol building addressing a joint session of Congress, which is a first for a pope. And I just wanted to pop this up for you so that you can see the separation of church and state here. Look at this, is the Basilica of the Immaculate Conception, and this is the Capitol, and this is the Basilica, and this is the Capitol, the Basilica. All right, you get the picture. Okay, here we go. Now, taking this time right off of this New York Times article here, we pop that right into the gematria counter, and I do remove the 5 here. And so we pop that in, and we see that we have some special numbers here. One of them is July 4th. This is the God number. This is the G and the D. This is the way that the Zionists, and I believe other Jews also write God. They leave the O out. So the way to, and also Jesuits. Jesuits and Zionists are really the same people, because Marduk Ra started with Semite kings, way back a long time ago, thousands of years before Christ, and he started the Vatican before Christ, and he started it with Semite kings. Not to be anti-Semite, I think that Marduk Ra had good intentions at the time, and they were working with the people that they knew, the stock of Abraham, which had proved himself loyal to the Anunnaki of the Nephilim at the time by being willing to sacrifice his son. So they used him as breeding stock to create their kings that they wanted to set up their empire with. So these people, the Jesuits and the Zionists, consider this to be the God number. It doesn't have to do with independence. That's all Disneyland. Doesn't have to do with independence. Nope. It has to do with their religion. Now the fireworks also play into that. I don't want to get off on that. Okay, so anyway, here we go. 444. This is the kill number. This is the 44th president. This is a 444. The direction. Let's go back to Google Earth. The direction. I have just a mess of lines here now. We'll just zoom out so you can see the skull one more time. Oh, sorry, I'm not. There we go. There's the skull. All right. So if we zoom in here, we can see from this direction is the Georgia Guidestones, and this is a 44-degree heading that goes right into the heart of the action right here. It actually goes right to the Washington Monument, and then it continues onto the Freedom Tower. And from there, it continues on to ancient Babylon. This is something I haven't seen anybody else talk about. In ancient Babylon, in Daniel 5, I believe, it talks about the writing on the wall and the fall of the divided kingdom. Well, here we have another kingdom, and we have, I don't want to take the time, but you have to see my video where I show this lineup, how it lines up right to ancient Babylon, the exact 32, 32, 32 coordinates of the writing on the wall in ancient Babylon, which happens to be within the eye of a drawing that they have over there of Isis. And I have that, I think, in my outro for a little preview. But this is the 44. That's why I wanted to show that to you. And it's funny, it goes right through your Rockefeller number right there. Now this number here is very telling. If you've been following me for a little while, you know that I did a few videos on the squaring of phi, because Philadelphia has 2 phi's in it. If you square phi, a curious thing happens. The 1.618 turns to a 2.618, and then also the next 8 digits after the decimal point stay the same. So this is the number that I have taken to mean phi squared, except for it's an anagram of it. So when they take the 8-6 by itself, 6-8 is, come on, 6-8 is stock and market, but stock market is 816, and Bride of Christ has 816 gematria connections, and 86 is a word that means kill. When you 86 something, you kill it. One of the stock market crashes where it was 86th was on an 8/6 day. It was an 8/24 day, and that's a mirror because the 2015 is another 8. So this number is, they're not kidding when they put this number up here. It has to do with phi squared, and it has to do with the Bride of Christ numbers. And I was talking, when I first saw the Roanoke information, I immediately connected. Allison Parker has 816 numbers in her name. She plays the Bride of Christ in that story, and they kill her before the wedding feast. She was going to marry Chris, right? She's the bride of Chris. Well, of course, that all didn't happen. It's all ridiculously fake. But the story was, the symbolism was that they kill the Bride of Christ. They do the same thing with the Dylan Storm Roof. They bring the Dylan Storm Roof in, and the timestamp shows an 816, and then he goes in and kills the Bride of Christ at the Bible study. And they do this again and again, killing of the Cecil the Lion. That was a Bride of Christ kill. So this is symbolism that goes on and on. You might think I'm crazy, and when I first started commenting on YouTube, I got a lot of like, you need pills kind of comments, and I promise you, I don't need pills. I'm very smart. Sometimes I forget things, but I have a lot of clues flowing through it at any time. So what I want to say about this is, and now I lost my thread. Here, let me pause and I'm going to remember what I'm talking about. Oh yes, I was posting the Bride of Christ connection before. It seemed like other people got it. There was a few other people in the comments who got it. But somebody said, first of all, a bunch of people were attacking me in the comments. And somebody said, hey, that matches up with the Madonna tour. She's going to Washington, D.C. in September to do some kind of number, and it has to do with the death and destruction of the Bride of Christ. So, yeah, we're not crazy. People who think are not crazy. We could be wrong. We could forget the details. We could forget how many days there are in a year, but we're actually not crazy. We just have a lot of stuff going on in our heads. So because we're talking about the Pope talking from the Washington, starting to stammer now, from the Capitol building, let's bring up the mirror. Solomon's Temple. This makes more sense because the brazen altar is out here. The Holy of Holies is over here. That makes a lot more sense. But while I was here, this is what I wanted to show you, is the owl in the dome. I think most people know about the owl. This is a sign of Isis. She's holding the owl's leg. I'm going to zoom out and center it. She's holding the owl's leg with her left hand. The owl signifies a feminine divine aspect of being able to see in the dark using intuition. Now the lawmakers and politicians, they burn the owl, and some controlled opposition conspiracy theorists talk about that the owl is Moloch, and maybe it is, but the whole idea of sacrificing care is to kill the feminine within, and to do it at the owl, to burn the owl, is a way of burning the sacred feminine, the Holy Spirit, which is associated with Isis, among other things. So now we see in this coat of arms that the Vatican acknowledges Isis. So what you can tell from this is that we have Illuminati or Freemasons or control families on both sides of the coin here, actually the whole spectrum of both honoring the Holy Spirit feminine and also trying to kill the Holy Spirit feminine. So the patriarchal government, the one that's killing Mother Nature, and that would be the one who's trying to kill the feminine. And the Jesuits, they are actually making a show. They're making a show of honoring the feminine. But I don't believe that's where their motivations actually lie. Okay, so anyway, he's going to be speaking here. He's going to make a short stop outside this, and I want to show you that this is 33 degrees between these two legs, and we have the owl here. And this, since I'm using the right version now of Solomon's Temple, this is in the Holy of Holies, which puts the brazen altar out here. Now, I worked on this. I tried to figure out how this is exactly supposed to be, and I think these are the pillars of Boaz and Joachim. So if they're going to be walking around right here, my feeling is they are going to walk around here. Maybe they are saying they're going to walk around here and they're actually going to walk around here. This is, if I was designing this event, I would have them walk around here. But, you know, no one consults me on these things. I think. All right, well, okay. So